Hi guys, in this video I'll show you how to become friends with Facebook algorithm. Now, Facebook is automated machine, right? So Facebook has, a few thousand employees, but also at the same time it serves, millions of advertisers. So a lot of the things that are happening with your ads, like how, the result that you're getting with your ads, like all of these things are automated. So in this video I want to show you basically how this machine like thinks, how this machine like operates, some of the principles that go into kind of the overall, basically how you can manipulate some of those things, some of those like prejudices that this machine has to get better results for yourself, for your business, for your ads, and basically how to leverage that. Because a lot of those things that you see happening with Facebook, they're all automated, they didn't have any human involvement, but machine has a thought process as well. In this video, I want to show you how to see that, how to operate that, and how to positively manipulate it, right, to get better results with your business. So by the way guys, if you're looking for help with scaling your Facebook advertising, if you're looking for help with the strategy, with the techniques that work, and basically with guidance how to make your ads as profitable as possible, click on the link below, apply for a free strategy call with my team, and we'll see how we can help you to scale your business to the next level. Now we'll get into the content. Very excited to share this with you guys, and whether you're starting out or you already have great momentum with your business, it will be very valuable. Tons of advertisers basically want to advertise on Facebook every single day, right? And they're entering an auction, right? So Facebook has this kind of like automated process for choosing which ads to show to which person at which time, right? Because they cannot just let all of the, advertisers, there are 8 million advertisers on Facebook to just have their ads launched at the same time, because this will simply overwhelm the platform. And Facebook as a platform, as a business, it has the only one goal, right? It's to survive. And to survive, it needs to please there are two variables to it, right? So once Facebook has to please the user, right? Facebook needs to provide a great user experience, because if users spend like good time on Facebook, they'll spend even more time. And even if they spend like a lot of time on Facebook, then Facebook can serve them more ads and Facebook can make more money, right? So it basically serves Facebook if they provide great user experience. That's why, they're so strict on policies. They're so strict on what kind of like what ads you can show, what ads you cannot show. And that's how they reward advertisers that provide this like great user experience. On the other side, Facebook needs to please advertiser, because that's pretty much who funds the whole company, right? Like just having a platform where people can post stuff, it doesn't make money, but Facebook makes money from the advertisers like you and me, where, we post our ads on Facebook and we pay for Facebook for placing those ads there, right? And so that's constant battle in Facebook eyes, kind of like to please users and to please advertisers at the same time. Right? So Facebook eyes is basically the inputs of data that feed the brain, right? Facebook has this brain like automated systems, like algorithm, so it can make decisions and serve its intent. And the intent is only one: to survive, right? And to master Facebook, you need to start by understanding its intent, right? Then how it makes decisions to serve its intent, and then the parameters it uses to make those decisions, right? You kind of like have to break it down into smaller parts and understand how Facebook thinks, so then you can basically manipulate it, positively manipulate it, not in a negative way, on basically getting better results with your advertising. And that's what a lot of people are missing, right? They just think that there's like just some magic trick or something, right? There is no magic trick. You just need to understand the system, how it works, basically all of the like interconnected and smaller parts of it, and then you can manipulate the end result, right? So here's how the Facebook brain works, right? So first you have the inputs, then it goes to the processor, the brain. So processor basically, decides, what kind of like output it will get out of those inputs. Then there's like a feedback, and then it just goes to like other inputs. So it's a constant cycle where, it just constantly goes forever. So for example, if you serve, just simple example, if you create ads with like, let's say before and after pictures, right? So that's input, right? Then processor like decides, okay, this is like before and after, this creates like negative user experience on Facebook, right? So then you have the output, and the output would be, in this case is, either like disable that account, right? Or for example, having your ads like getting less impressions, right? Then that feedback goes, farther, right? So then it will impact your ad account moving forward, whether you'll be able to advertise profitably, and then it just continues moving forward, right? So then Facebook makes a decision about you as advertiser, whether you're a good advertiser to place ads on the platform, right? And it's kind of like goes on and on forever. Now, these are some of the inputs, right? So inputs are users, right? So you and me, right? Like all of the users like has a reputation with Facebook, right? So I have my reputation in terms of whether I was delivering good user experience, whether I was, delivering good, whether I was, profitable user for Facebook, whether I was like a good advertiser, right? Then post an ads, basically what you're posting. So again, if you're posting like before and after, if you're posting products that are not compliant with policies, then this will impact your outputs, right? This will get you into the trouble. Then you have the campaigns, right? So basically how you structure them, and then you have the budgets, right? So these are basically the main kind of like variables. So how the brain thinks, right? How it organizes data. It uses, some of the, certain like kind of like decisions, right? Decision, like for example, it decides basically show what to who, right? So the goal of the Facebook is to show their ad to the right person at the right time, so advertiser can make money, user is happy, and Facebook makes money from the advertiser, right? And user is happy because it bought the product, he bought the product or she bought the product that she actually enjoyed, right? So when and how often, right? Obviously Facebook is limited, like it cannot show, like when you scroll your newsfeed, right? You only see maybe one ad among like 3 other posts or like 10 other posts from your friends. So Facebook cannot just simply give you ads, because then it will not be interesting for users, and users will stop just using Facebook as actively, right? If they only see ads, because users want to see photos from their friends, from family, from groups, so there are many other information that Facebook wants to put into that newsfeed on top of the ads. Accelerate or slow, right? So depending on kind of like your budget and structuring, it can either, accelerate the delivery of your ads and show it like to as many people as possible if the ads delivering good user experience and if you put good budget behind them, right? Or it can basically slow down it, right? Like if your ads get like negative feedback, then they'll be just slowed down. That's why, like for example, you might have issues with delivery of your ads, right? So safe or risky, right? Again, algorithm like scans, the bots scanning your landing pages, the bots scanning your basically website, your ads, and deciding whether it's safe or risky for people to use your website. If this, then that, right? For example, if user is using, these specific words like you or pain or like weight loss, right? Then we'll get the user less impressions, so we'll punish him somehow, right? This signals that, right? Again, something that let's say you have some images, maybe some negative images, or you have some images of like guns or something, right? In your ads, and Facebook decides, okay, so then it's probably not good user experience, so then Facebook will give you worse traffic or just like slow down your delivery and tolerate up to this threshold. So again, at the end of the day, Facebook cares about user, right? And it can tolerate some of the things that you do as advertiser, but only to a certain like threshold. So let's say if you post, like some posts that create like negative experience for user, you can post it today, you can post it tomorrow, you can post for 1 week, but then it gets to a certain threshold where Facebook decides, okay, that's it, like that's, we have to eliminate you as as advertiser, we have to stop this from happening, right? So this is how Facebook decides, on all of these things. Now, the outputs, right? That's what you get out of it, right? And what you get out of it is basically the results, right? That's, your purchases, your clicks, your reach, your impressions, right? So for example, you advertise and you create like good user experience, then Facebook decides what kind of like traffic to serve you, right? Whether to serve you traffic that will basically get you like many purchases at a lower cost, or it will be just low quality traffic that you get like a lot of it, but at the same time it's not as it's not as good traffic. Then feedback, right? So you get the either like attention for your posts, right? Like you get a lot of like posts, you get a lot of like likes and shares and stuff, and Facebook decides, okay, so then it's a good user experience. Then likes and comments. So for example, if you get like lots of like likes and comments, and it means user like interacts with your ads, it's creating positive user experience, so it basically will continue to serve you, and that feedback loop just continues on and on. And then performance, right? So this will either like if you do those things, if you create this good user experience, then Facebook will reward you with great performance. Facebook will give you like good good quality of traffic, impressions, reach, basically all of those things that pretty much make the successful advertising work. And then based on all of these factors, Facebook forms decisions, right? So value this advertiser more than that one, for example, right? Give preference to this, right? Or for example, if you test like 3-4 different ads, then after evaluating all this information, you have all of these, let's say, outputs like, likes and shares, for example. And then Facebook says, okay, so this ad gets more likes, so maybe just let's give more budget to this ad, right? Or that's how CBO works, right? So, it's not 100% efficient, but for example, it's designed in a way where it's like it would allocate more budget to the ad set that gets the most conversions, right? It just would put more budget behind that, basically on this calculation and on the data that comes in, right? Then throttle this. Right? For example, if they see there's something negative happening, some negative user experience, then Facebook just will throttle it. And you'll often see that inside of your ad campaigns. That just means you're creating not as good user experience, and you need to work on your ads and basically your messaging. Then accelerate this. If you're getting good results, then you will see how easy it is to scale. So a lot of people talk about scaling, and we specialize in scaling, but scaling is only possible where you have good ads and you're creating good user experience, right? That's the only way where the scaling is possible. So by the way, if you're looking for help with scaling your advertising, scaling your e-commerce business, dropshipping business, there's a link below in the description. Please apply, click on the link, and there will be like a free strategy session where we'll see how we can help you and whether we are a good fit for working together. Trust this, don't trust that. Right? So for example, there's like one section of this is like fake news, right? Previously, Facebook has, a lot of like fake news, basically, either affiliate marketers try to sell something or some other, people try to sell products with fake news, or like politicians, serving like fake news to each other. Then Facebook makes a decision. It has a database. It has, the artificial learning. So it basically sees and decides whether to trust this information or not, so then it can make those kind of like decisions and give the preference to some ads or take the preference out of certain ads, right? Like for example, if it doesn't trust your ads or like the fake news that you're putting out, right, then it will lower your reach and will lower your impressions and will basically just throttle your advertising. So how do you make the Facebook machine run in your favor, right? And we do this by feeding the machine with extreme amount of inputs that are considered good, right? So here are the good inputs, right? So first is engagement input, second is lexical input, third is graphical input, then financial input, and the consistency input, right? So these are all of the kind of major like leverage points that you can use to kind of like positively manipulate algorithm and get more preference for your ads, right? So engagement input, right? So basically the best ads, they don't look like ads, right? Like a lot of the times, if you look at so for example, ads that don't look like ads, right? So I'll show you the examples here, right? So you can see here, like a lot of these ads, for example, this is like Snow at Hope Cheese Whitening, very successful company, right? They, as you can see, a lot of their ads, like this doesn't look like an ad, right? This doesn't look like an ad, right? It's just like a lot of like human faces, right? Some of them look like ads, right? This most likely it's like retargeting, and so a lot of the times these are just basically just ads that look don't look like ads, right? Like the ads that have people in them, right? Look like a friend's post. They evoke emotion and be human and also look human, right? So as you can see here, basically ads, boy and girl, right? Some popular people here. So these are kind of like the ads, the things that work. And a lot of the successful companies that you see advertising now, they're oftentimes using people, right? Like smiling people in their ads. And not just like smiling people, like perfect, ideal, perfect people, but like people in the regular setup. You can see these are like just, people, like drinking coffee, right? In the gym, like in normal, like regular environment, right? That's basically what Facebook wants to see. That looks like, obviously, people figure out that this is the ad, but at the end of the day, like it just looks like a natural, it looks like real interaction of a real person. So that's one thing that you can use. So for example, in your dropshipping business, let's say, or e-commerce business, you should utilize more people. Whatever your product is, it's pretty much, at the end of the day, it's like you selling products for people. Like even if you're selling, for example, let's say you're selling like this, right? Let's say you're selling like headphones or like earphones or stuff. Like at the end of the day, it's for people, right? So you need to show people in your ads, right? You need to show people that are using your product. You need to show people in like real environment using your product, basically the lifestyle behind it, kind of like the feelings. If you can communicate the feelings that this person would have using your product, then this is what makes this good engagement ad, right? That's where people can relate, that's where people can comment, people can share, people can like, right? So graphical inputs, right? So Facebook scans images and detects objects, scenes, and emotions. Again, with millions of ads, submitted every single day for approval. So I was invited several times into Facebook headquarters, and I don't remember the exact number, but there are basically millions of ads that are every day submitted for approval, right? So, when you click like publish your ads, there are millions of them that are, basically advertisers trying to submit ads for publishing on Facebook. And Facebook scans those, right? Facebook just scans those at a very rapid rate, pace. And there is no way, for people to manually review those, right? So basically, most of that is done by the machine, and Facebook can tell if the ad is positive or negative based on the image, right? And you should use images with more positive objects, scenes, and emotions. So some of the positive things like humans, faces, smiles, eyes, babies, right? That's why babies ads, I get a lot of engagement. Animals, that's why a lot of engagement also created on these ads. Nature, colors, fun, right? So let's just evaluate this one, right? Person smiling, person smiling, 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 right? So this is not exactly smiling, this guy, but smiling, 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 right? So positive emotion, smiling, 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 right? So that's what basically makes a difference, right? If you don't utilize this in your ads, please do. If you don't create your own custom creative for your ads, there should be a link. There should be a link somewhere, or maybe if you just check my channel, I basically cover how to create custom content for your advertising. It's very inexpensive. It's if you do it by yourself. But you can create like custom content again with people, with humans, with emotions. So you can create it and basically get advantage because of that with Facebook. Now, lexical input, right? So Facebook knows the content that people like and don't like, and it has records of all liked and hated posts and tags contained in them, right? So that's why like you need to avoid words perceived bad. Like for example, you're not good enough, make money fast, anti-religion, hate speech, violence, right? So you can also use this tool. This is basically the tool that you can utilize to see if let's say, I hate my enemies, right? If you put it here. Negative, right? But for example, if I say, right, right, if you put it here, that's how Facebook can identify. Lose weight fast, right? I mean, this is neutral. Let's say this. Lose weight so you don't look fat, right? Like it's negative, right? So you need to be like, you need to be here on this, at least like on neutral. If you can be on positive, that's even better, but at least on neutral. You cannot be on negative side here, right? So you're not good enough, let's say. Let's try this. Negative, right? So that's you can use this tool. It's called text processing demo. I'll include this link in the description below. So financial input, right? So Facebook loves money, and basically to make like a good financial, one of the things here, Facebook likes users, but Facebook also needs to, likes advertisers as well, and especially those advertisers that have money, right? So when deciding which ads to show at any given time, Facebook has the estimated conversion rate, the bid and ad quality variables. And so if let's say your website converts, then Facebook will give you more traffic. If your bids are high, then obviously Facebook will give you more traffic because it sees your intent to spend more money, right? And if it's coupled with like ad quality, high ad quality, where people click on your ads, people engage with your ads, like your ads, then pretty much like you have very good chances of getting a lot of good impressions from people who are likely to buy your product. Facebook will give you high quality traffic, right? Again, Facebook needs to serve both user and advertiser, right? So you have to always keep that in mind, how to please Facebook on one side and how to please user on the other side. So basically what Facebook likes, right? That's one of the other videos I've covered, that you need to like move into the place where you have high budgets on your ad sets, right? On your campaigns, bid prices, average daily spend. So all of those things, like you want to be considered like as a high spender on Facebook to basically get advantage in the auction. So let's say if you compete in the auction and your ads are good, and other person who has, who spends much more on Facebook, right? And they have the same quality of ads, then they'll just be winning auctions, right? And you will not be winning, right? So Facebook takes this into consideration as well. Like average monthly spend, so typically like over $100,000 per month in spend. That's oftentimes where you can get the Facebook rep, someone who will be dedicated to your account. Not always the case, but they're just like my observation. Like average annual spend, so Facebook has a history with you, right? And if you spend a lot, then over time you'll be put in the category of like high spenders, and that's where you get like very good treatment from Facebook, like lifetime spend and also reliability of payments, right? Make sure that you have like a very solid debit card attached or like a credit card, but it should not be declined. Like you need to make sure that you have funds, right, on that card. You should also have some backup payment methods, so in case like the main one doesn't work. And also remove all budget limits, right? So on your ad campaign settings, there's like limits for spend, just remove it. Make sure that Facebook also takes this into consideration. Let's say you have budget limits. It's again like one of the factors whether Facebook will give you good quality traffic in the auction or not. Right? Enter your business information in your business manager, your business, your business name, address, tax ID, all of this information. If you go to business settings and then to business info, you have to fill that out. And basically that will signal to Facebook that you have money, you are reliable, and you're there to spend money as well, right? That you're a serious, advertiser, you have money, you have good products, and you're basically there to spend money and make money, right? And also consistency. So this is another factor. So for example, if you are spending every day without like turning off your ads, just too often, right? Then Facebook will give you higher quality of traffic. It will put you into more auctions. Now there are several, if you're like doing drop shipping and it's very like short cycle, and if for example you see that at night your ads like stop performing, like last year for example we practiced where we would turn off the ads at night, because they haven't been converting, and we would turn them on back in the morning, right? So we practiced that. I don't know, like we'll see how this goes like this year, but now we are trying to keep all of our ads basically consistently spending. We try not to turn them off, right? So guys, here's how to become friends with Facebook algorithm. Again, there are several things that you need to consider, right? So engagement, those like lexical input, graphical input, your images and videos. So if you show like naked bodies in your videos or images, and Facebook will basically punish you. Then financial input, spending as much money as possible, and as long as it's profitable for you. And then consistency input. So basically whether you're spending money consistently on your advertising, and if you are considered like good advertiser by all of these criteria, is it pretty much like automated. So no one kind of like takes it like manually. All of advertisers just like, oh, whether this advertiser spends money or like, it's all automated, right? It's all automated. So these are the things you need to do to manipulate the algorithm positively, to create great user experience, to spend as much money on Facebook as possible, and to grow your business. So guys, if you're looking for help with scaling your business, the link in the description, please click on it, apply for a free strategy session with my team, and we'll see how we can help you. Thank you for watching. This was quite a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. Please put in the comments what you think about it, and let me know what you want to see in the next video.